everybody, I'm Susan. Welcome to Plateau Art Studio, Art for Kids. Join me as I walk you through step by step on some art projects. Let's see what we're doing today. Hi everyone. Well, I've got a really fun project today. It's jellyfish. And I thought this, and when I did the sample, I was all excited about it because I love the way it turned out. I hope you do too. So, all right, so let's go over our supplies first, all right? So you have a list of your paints that you need. You need your blue, and the background is cool colors, the blue. And our jellyfish, the reason it just pops right out is because we use the warm colors. So I'm using the cool colors for the background and the warm colors for the jellyfish. And you need one of your large brushes and a set of just regular brushes. I have two round and a flat brush. Okay, so I will be using the large brush for the wash. So we're going to start with that. So let's not delay and get started. Okay, so the first step is you have a jellyfish like this on a piece of canvas. All right, so you can trace your jellyfish if you'd like to. It is not necessary, but you might want to use like the black marker, or even white, even like a white little crayon or something, because you'll be able to see it better after you do the wash and see where your jellyfish is. Okay, so step one, trace your jellyfish. Okay, so when you're done, revisit me. Okay, so we'll continue for step two. Okay, this has my wash on it, and we're going to do that together. All right, so I'm going to take my water. You need your water tub, and I'm going to put a little bit of water, just a little bit on your work, just a little bit. And then I want you to start, and you know, I'm going to do something different. You have, I use the Lakeshore Super Bright. It's liquid tempera, and I get it from Lakeshore, and they're super bright. It's actually a Teacher Supply store. But this one versus others that I won't really name that I've used, and washable paints and stuff, they just don't compare to this. I love this paint for kids. It's bright, it holds its color, it's just wonderful. So it's non-toxic, so and it does, you know, it does wash out. It might take one or two washings if they happen to spill a whole lot of paint, but it does wash out. So I'm gonna have you use your paint strip, but I'm doing this so you can see where to put the color. Okay, I do this kind of thing a lot. So, all right, so you have your dark blue in the middle, and my turquoise light blue up top with some white. Okay, now I'm going to put, you don't have to do it this way, but I'm just doing it just for the video so you can see dark to light. This is black, and then my rich dark blue in the middle, a little bit of turquoise and white at the top. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle with my blue. Don't touch your black. Black is last. We don't want to get any black in the rest of this project. It is last. Go all the way to the corners, okay? Go up from one corner to the other corner. And as you have paint on your brush, you're gonna go one side all the way to the corner, or to the edge, and then turn it over and pull that paint back. So back and forth, okay? That's what I tell my kids in my class. All right, so I have that well painted, and I can still see where my jellyfish outline was. Okay, so now I'm going to get my turquoise and paint part of the top with my turquoise. And then my white. And I did use a little bit of water just to make my paint go on smoothly. Okay. All right, now for the magic here. All right, so I have my white, a little bit of white. So it's light, because if at the top of the water, the sunshine comes through and makes the water lighter at the top, and as you go dive down deeper, then the water gets darker. And now, last, I'm going to use just a little bit of black at the very bottom. The very, very bottom. That's it, right there. I don't want any more. I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to get a little bit of my blue back, because I don't want to carry my black up through my project. I don't want to do that. I just want it at the very bottom, about maybe 2 inches. How much is that? Maybe the width of your thumb. Your thumb's probably smaller than mine, but it's about the height of my thumb. Okay, there. So there is my, whoops. And if you have too much black, just, you know, like if we're working with watercolor, you can clean your brush and then just wipe some off with a clean brush, not wet brush, a clean brush. Okay, I'm going to add some more blue down there, just a little bit. Okay, so there is my wash. Now now you're going to need to let this dry. So it's kind of a 2-part little project. So go ahead, set this aside, set the timer for maybe 15 minutes maybe, and hopefully by then that should dry. So if you've used a lot of water, it's going to take a long time to dry. So just use a little bit, just a little bit. You just want your brush to get wet. Dab it on the side. Get that water out just so you have a damp brush when you're using your wash on there. Okay, so you should still be able to see the outline of your jellyfish. Now I'm going to set this aside, so you put me on pause, and in about 10-15 minutes come back when your background, your water is dry. Okay, that's really important. We want that to be dry. All right, so next step, let me put this over here. All right, there we go. Okay, so the next step, this is dry, and only when it is dry, what I'm going to have you do is a little trick here, and that is to use your white. And the reason I'm going to have you do this, because I want you to use your white and paint your jellyfish all white. Your background needs to be dry, okay? I can't stress that enough, or you're going to end up with a blue jellyfish. So, so make sure the background's dry. Paint that. And the reason we're doing that is because then your bright yellows, oranges, and pinks are going to really show up well against that white. If you have the blue background, they can just kind of, they won't be as bright. So just a little trick there to teach you about. All right, so now let's start our jellyfish. So go ahead and paint that white, let it dry just a little bit. That's okay if it doesn't dry 100%, but let it dry. And okay, so I want a pink jellyfish, but I'm going to use all my other warm colors. Okay, so I have pink, red, orange, and yellow. And I'm going to start out with my pink. in the middle. And let me see if I can just show you real quick. This one's still a little wet, but it's dry right there. This is really nice and bright, and if I do this, I can see the blue through it. Can you see the difference? So that's why I painted white behind that, my bright colors, because this looks a lot darker than this, doesn't it? So that's why I painted white. So, all right, so I'm gonna use my pink. You get creative. Maybe you want a yellow jellyfish with a little bit of the other colors, but I'm just gonna do mostly pink. And I am gonna put some red in there. I'm gonna kind of mix it with my pink. And maybe a little bit of orange. Make it nice and bright. Ooh, I'm liking that. I'm gonna use a little bit of yellow on the other side. And I am doing that little thing where I can roll my brush. So I'm coming down, I'm twisting to turn my brush around that corner, okay? You probably think, well, how does she do that? Well, that's how I did that. Ooh, that's really nice and bright, isn't it? Okay. All right, I like that so far. I'm going to go back with a little pink. Get some pink in there. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. Now, around the bottom, on my original, I did what I call highlights. So I am going to put a little white in there too, just to really make it pop. Okay, so I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm using my flat brush, just, whoops, I didn't pick anything up, just the tip, all right, just the tip. I didn't dunk the whole thing in. Just try to use just the tip there. And I'm going to dab it on the edge here. Dab, 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 dab. Okay. Put some more on there. Okay. And I can kind of, I'm doing little tiny strokes, pulling that white edge up. Okay, I can add a little more if I like. And here we go. Now I'm just touching the side. I'm gonna get some more white and put it on this corner on this side. Just come up the sides a little bit. There we go. Okay. And I can pull some of this up. Like that. It'll make him look, it'll make the edge look a little round there. There. Now I can take just put some, just a few little highlights in there. Maybe the sun's coming down through the water on the top. Put a little pull a little white down if you want. Okay, put some more yellow over here. And a little bit in the middle. Just have fun with it. See what colors you can get come out through your mix of, well, yellow and pink will make kind of an orange in there, so I think I'm going to grab a little more pink because I want my pink back in there. Anyway, you can kind of see what colors. Let's switch my brush. I'm going to use a round brush so I can get a little more white up here. White up there. Okay, all right, so that was fun. Now you're gonna need a Q-tip or the end of an eraser of a pencil, and that's what we're gonna make in the middle of the jellyfish. All right, so I'm going to use my orange and make some dots to fill this in. Okay, you can use the different colors in there. Okay, so that's what that looks like, and then if I use a Q-tip, it kind of does the same thing. And this is just part of the jellyfish. Just using all the colors that I used in my jellyfish. Now, jellyfish have the tentacles, but they also, some of them kind of have these almost ruffle looking tentacles. They look like ruffles. So I'm going to do a few of those with my Q-tip. Just kind of grabbing yellow, orange, pink, just to get some really fun different colors in there. There. Okay. Now I'm going to use my orange, and what I did was I dipped my brush in my water, picked up a little orange and mixed the water, a little bit of water. It's gonna, then you want a round brush. So look through your brushes and hopefully you have a round brush with that fine little tip. And then by adding a little bit of water, I can make that go a long ways. Let's do a pink one. Go over this. I'm going to go right over this. And I can use a little white. Maybe a few little short ones there. And I'm just taking my brush and making these soft little, just soft little wave. Okay. Soft little wave. And I'm going to do one more right here. There. All right. Now, there is my little ruffle tentacles and my regular tentacles. Now, the next thing I need is, I want you to find, ask your mom or dad if you can use some caps or a lid from something. Works really well. If you have a small glass, a drinking glass, like a small one, and we're going to use this to stamp. So let me show you. Okay, so I have my blues here. I have way too much paint right there. Okay, so I'm not going to mix them up entirely. I want to swirl them. So that means I'm going to use my dark blue, my light blue, and just barely mix that. Okay, see that? All right, so when I pick up my paint, I'm going to get different colors in there for the bubbles. So I'm using a large lid, I think from a spice, some kind of spice. It might have been like a garlic spice thing that was empty, and then I just used them. I have a whole bunch of these, so all right. So then I did 3 of the large ones, and then I want some small ones. So I'm gonna dip that in, and I'm going to do some smaller ones. Here, a couple more down here. Yeah. There. So I kind of put a couple on the jellyfish and a few around. Now, if you want, again, your, let's see, I have a clean one. I thought I had another one here. Oh, I do. All right, so grab another Q-tip, or if you, even a straw works really well for some tiny bubbles, but I am going to pick up a little bit of this really light, like a really light blue, so it shows up. Okay, and you can add a few more bubbles if you like. So that's a really fun little project. There. There we go. I think I like that just like that. So what do you think? There's our jellyfish. That is a really fun project. So again, you're going to find some little glass or something and then swirl that together. Do not mix it all the way. Just swirl it so you get the different color of blues and whites in there to get the different colors to show up. All right, so there's some little tricks for you. Oh, it was a really fun project. I hope you would like that. I love this one. So you have a great day, and I will see you next time with our next project. All right, bye-bye. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you had fun with that project. Tune in next week. We'll see what we're doing then. Okay, bye-bye.